Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. It's super windy right now, but it was also pouring rain like an hour ago, so we're just gonna deal with the wind, and my ducks are screaming. Anyway, in today's video, we're gonna be getting a free live food to feed to my animals. Now, this live food is a plant, it's called duckweed, and you can find it in a ton of different stores, you can even get it online. But PETCO gives it away for free because it's seen as a pest plant. It's basically a floating plant, it floats on top of the water and it just grows crazy fast, and PETCO just has to get rid of it out of their plant tanks because there's no point in selling it. So you can go there, ask for it, and you basically get free food for your animals. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw you back to yesterday when I got the duckweed. And just like that, we made it to PETCO. And just like that, we are back here. Have the duckweed. I waited because yesterday the weather was nasty, so I didn't want to film this outside. Today it's a little bit better, so here we go. This is what duckweed looks like, as you can see. It's literally a floating plant, like that's all it is. Now, not all fish will eat this. Small tropical fish generally don't have interest in this, but goldfish, koi, turtles, all of them love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and run inside, and we're gonna give this duckweed right here to some of my animals, and we can watch them eat it. So we're gonna start with my fancy goldfish. I'm just gonna take this duckweed right here. Just gonna go ahead and dump some in. And as you can see, they eat it just like normal food. Now, the benefit to duckweed is that even if your fish don't eat it, it's great because it helps clean the water. Live plants remove toxic elements from the water to grow, like nitrate, and that's great that duckweed has the ability to pull stuff out of your water and grow just like a normal plant, and it's very, very cost effective. But then again, these fish just completely eat it like normal, just like it's normal flake food or pellet food. We can do the same thing with my turtle. Let me dump all this in. I still have a little bit more that I saved for the koi pond. This will act in a similar way. The turtle doesn't eat as fast as the koi fish, so it has a chance to kind of do its thing for a little bit, but in about an hour or so, this should all be gone. And he'll just kind of pick at stuff as it goes by him. As you can see, he's shedding right now, so that's all what that extra skin is. It's him actually shedding, which basically just means he's growing. It's completely normal. This duckweed's also great to feed to koi in the winter. I didn't give him too much because I was afraid it would go down the skimmer. But duckweed is a great plant for koi to eat during the winter because during the winter, it's harder for them to digest pellet food. So duckweed is a nice, easy way for them to get some nutrients in without it like clogging up their digestive system. So go ahead and let that mingle in there and they'll go ahead and munch on it. In the meantime though, we need to fix the waterfall and clean the skimmer. I also got these little solar lights I'm testing off Amazon. They didn't work very well because they take a long time to charge. Just dump these leaves out real fast and then put that right back in. Now we have to work on the waterfall. So of course it's super windy and now it's starting to rain, but the first thing before we break into the skimmer, I want to talk to you about carbon. Now this right here is pond carbon, and this right here is aquarium carbon. Now this is all very similar, except for this one has a larger grain size and this one has a smaller grain size. As you can see, kind of, that's pond carbon right there, pretty big chunks. And then that finer carbon is for your aquarium. Now aquarium carbon is great for removing pollutants in general, but it's also especially good at removing medicines out of the water. So I'm gonna keep this, run this back inside, because I'm gonna need this soon on my saltwater tank to remove some stuff out of the water. Also, one more thing I love about Aquatic Experts carbon is this right here. On everything with carbon you get a free media bag included right there on the back. And that's for the pond carbon as well. So they also have bags you can basically just buy normally. Now they have the small mesh bags, that goes with the aquarium carbon, and then they have the high flow mesh bags which go with the pond carbon. I'm not gonna be using the pond carbon right now because it's winter, so the pond's nasty in general. But as soon as summer rolls around, I'm gonna load pond carbon up in my skimmer and probably in my waterfall as well, just to help get the water crystal clear for summertime. So it started raining a ton and I brought the ducks out to play in the water because they absolutely love it. But now I need to fix my waterfall. Now my whole pond is run by AWAZI equipment and it has worked amazing for me so far. But the only issue I have is that the pad that came with this waterfall right here is so fine that it clogs so fast. What happens is it clogs and then it comes up like this, and water actually leaks out right here and drains my pond if I don't clean it like every 2 days. So I've come up with an idea. I had the nice people at Aquatic Experts go ahead and send over some of their filter pads. This right here is the classic filter pad and it is black. Now the black one is very coarse, meaning it allows a lot of debris to pass through. If it allows a lot of debris to pass through, it won't clog up too fast and it will let the waterfall keep flowing. So I'm definitely gonna use this, but then I also got the fine filter pad, which is this white one right here. This will help polish the water and keep it clear, but this one clogs up faster. So what we can do is use both of these, running this one first and this one second to get crystal clear water, but it shouldn't clog up too fast because we have the coarse one to prevent that. In addition to running just this filter pad right here, I also have some more bio balls, once again by Aquatic Experts, obviously. I'm gonna throw a few more of these into my waterfall. I already have a few, but you can never have too much beneficial bacteria running in your pond. Here is that super fine pad that clogs up very fast. As you can see, it's super nasty, and I just completely cleaned this out literally like 3 days ago. So we're gonna be taking that out, and then here are the bio balls. I'm gonna be removing these from the net because I feel like the net just clogs a lot of debris, which I don't want. And then I also wanna clean this out, but there's no really easy way to do that, unfortunately, unless I get like a vacuum cleaner in there. But here's how the pond looks when the skimmer and anything's not running. As you can see, there's a lot of debris down at the bottom, and a lot of stuff just kind of everywhere. The pond is very nasty right now. Once again, for spring though, I'm hoping to clean it up a ton. But definitely getting some fresh media in here will keep the water crystal clear, and then I can get a vacuum cleaner or something to clean out the rocks and stuff like that at the bottom of the pond. So at the bottom of the waterfall, I'm just throwing a few handfuls of new bio balls down here, including the ones that I already have. Next up, I'm gonna do the coarse filter pad. As you can see, this filter pad is very coarse. I'm just gonna take it and basically just cut it to fit in the waterfall. So I got the coarse pad basically cut in there to fit. It's pretty snug, and I'm hoping the water flow won't jack it up too much. I'm gonna put the fine pad on top and then lock it into place. Okay, so I put the white pad right on top, and now all we have to do is turn the power back on. Just like that, we have a perfect flow out of the waterfall. As you can see, the flow is perfect, straight, and even. What happens is when the old pad kept clogging up, it wouldn't be as straight and even. And so like the water would splash out, obviously. As you can see, the water is no longer running up the sides at all. It's perfectly clean, flush, and working exactly how it's supposed to. I'm hoping this will last at least a week or two before I have to change it out, so that's really good. But so far, I'm very impressed. Now, if you don't know, before the water hits that waterfall, it goes through an AQUATIC canister filter back there, which is hard to see, but it's back there. Okay, so I got the pond cleaned up a bit. I still have a lot of finishing touches to do. Once again, I couldn't get all the leaves out, and I have to do stuff like actually get in the pond and like move some rocks around. Obviously, we'll do that when it warms up a little bit because it is freezing. But what I did in here was I put some of that coarse pad at the very bottom of this basket, and that's gonna catch some of the debris before it enters the canister filter. Now, you don't wanna do that when you're gonna leave for a weekend or something, because you wanna check that basically at least every 12 hours, because it could get clogged up if your pond gets super dirty, and you don't want that to starve your pump of water. So that's only in there because I just basically messed up the whole pond by trying to clean it. But in about 12 hours, once it gets full, I'm just gonna remove it and just stick with the canister filter and the new filter pads we have in the waterfall, which as you can see is flowing perfectly. Okay, now it's time to do some tank maintenance. So this tank right here is my kind of grow out tank for these platies. I bring these into the fish store for credit sometimes, but these are the small ones that are just kind of growing out in this tank to a sellable size. And obviously it's time to do a water change. Aquatic Experts conditioner, and just a few drops treats 5 gallons. Or 1 small capful treats 50. So the water change is done, but the water's a little bit cloudy. Now doing a water change will do that as it mixes up all the substrate, as you can see down here. But next up we have to clean the filter. A dirty filter cartridge will not clean the water of all this nasty stuff. Now generally you can just rinse these, but this one has been in here for so long, and this one has carbon in. And if you didn't know, carbon actually goes bad after a certain number of weeks and starts reintroducing pollutants back into the tank, which we do not want. So we're just gonna take that and throw it away. So we got the Aquatic Experts filter first pad right here, and then simply take the filter pad and cut it right to any size you need. Then take the piece you just cut out and place it in your filter. This bonded filter pad has 2 sides. A fine side down at the bottom, which traps the smallest particulates, and a coarse side up top. Now you want to place the coarse side so the water passes through it first. The water in this filter comes up to the top and drips down, so we have the coarse part on top. And just like that, the aquarium is now clean, fresh water change, and we are good to go. Side note, I'm doing a water change on my shrimp tank, and look at that shrimp. He's like grabbing the air. Look at that one's doing it too. And that one. They're all doing it. What? And last but not least, I thought I would show you the 2 new fish I got from my saltwater tank. I got 2 Banggai cardinals. I got them from my local fish store, and they were 15 bucks a piece. So that's pretty much it. Saltwater tank is doing good. We had some issues in here. We had some quick little scares, but I do not want to get into that because it's basically solved now. But I have big plans for the saltwater tank coming very, very soon. Oh, and these ducks have been playing in this nasty water for like hours. Like I swear, like they've been out here for like 4 hours just in here, just making an absolute mess. They get like grass and mud from the lawn, mix it with the water, and then just play around in it. It's the weirdest thing. Anyways guys, that is going to be pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave links to all the products I used in this video down below, the filter pads, all that kind of stuff, the carbon. That'll all be linked in the description. That is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.